Welcome to the Hall of Shame, folks. The trades that made general managers wake up in cold sweats for decades. Imagine sending away a quarterback who attempted just 4 passes for your team, only to watch him win 3 consecutive MVP awards and a Super Bowl with his new squad. Or picture trading away an elite receiver for a measly 4th-round pick, then seeing him catch 23 touchdowns the very next season. These aren't just bad business decisions. They're football catastrophes that altered league history. From dynasty-creating blunders to 85 million dead cap nightmares, we're counting down the top 10 worst trades in NFL history. 10. Roy Williams to the Cowboys, 2008. Jerry Jones thought he was getting a star when he traded for Lions receiver Roy Williams, sending Detroit a 1st, 3rd, and 6th-round pick. He then gave Williams a 5-year, $45 million extension with $20 million guaranteed. The result? Williams never topped 600 receiving yards in a season with Dallas. In 40 games, he caught just 19 touchdowns, only 6 more than Calvin Johnson, the receiver Detroit drafted to replace him, caught in the 2011 season alone. Williams averaged a dismal 36.6 yards per game, less than half his 2006 Pro Bowl season average. Dallas paid approximately $1.05 million per Williams touchdown, while the Lions used those picks to help build a playoff team by 2011. Jones later admitted he overpaid for Williams, the football understatement of the century. 9. David Johnson for DeAndre Hopkins, 2020. Bill O'Brien shocked the football world by trading star receiver DeAndre Hopkins and a 4th-round pick to Arizona for running back David Johnson, a 2nd-round pick, and a future 4th-rounder. Johnson averaged just 36.8 rushing yards per game in Houston, amassing 919 yards and 6 touchdowns across 2 seasons. Hopkins immediately became Kyler Murray's favorite target, averaging 77 yards per game and hauling in 17 touchdowns over 35 contests. In his first Cardinals season, Hopkins caught 115 passes for 1,407 yards, more than triple Johnson's rushing output, 691 yards that same year. O'Brien was fired just 4 games into the 2020 season, giving him plenty of time to think about the trade that helped seal his fate. 8. Carson Wentz to the Colts, 2021. After a disastrous 2020 season where Wentz led the NFL in interceptions and sacks despite playing just 12 games, the Eagles sent him to Indianapolis for a 3rd-round pick and a conditional 1st-rounder. Despite decent statistics, 3,563 yards, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, Wentz went just 9-8 as the Colts starter. The final straw came in Week 18, when Indianapolis needed only to beat the 2-14 Jaguars to make the playoffs. Wentz completed just 58% of his passes in a humiliating 26-11 loss, one of the biggest choke jobs in recent NFL history. The price tag for this 1-year rental, a 1st and 3rd-round pick, plus Wentz's $28 million salary. Colts owner Jim Irsay was so disgusted that he reportedly couldn't even say Wentz's name, referring to him only as that quarterback. Wentz was traded again the following offseason, lasting just 1 year in Washington before being released. 7. Deshaun Watson to the Browns, 2022. The Browns decided a quarterback facing dozens of sexual misconduct allegations was worth 3 first-round picks, 3 additional mid-round picks, and a fully guaranteed $230 million contract, the most guaranteed money ever given to an NFL player. The results have been nothing short of catastrophic. Watson went 3-3 after serving an 11-game suspension in his first season, while backup Jacoby Brissett went 4-7, but looked like the better quarterback. Watson's second season was cut short after just 6 games due to injury, while 39-year-old Joe Flacco, signed off the street, led Cleveland to the playoffs. In 12 total games with the Browns, Watson hasn't thrown for 300 yards once. To make matters worse, Watson sat out most of the 2024 season due to injury, with his future playing prospects looking murky at best. 6. John Hattle to the Packers, 1974. When the Packers lost quarterback Jerry Tagg to injury in 1974, coach Dan Devine panicked, sending the Rams 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a third-round selection for 34-year-old quarterback John Hattle. The desperation shocked even Hattle himself, who admitted, "I didn't really believe it. I didn't think anybody would be that desperate." He was right to be skeptical. Hattle went just 7-12 as Green Bay's starter, throwing 9 touchdowns against 29 interceptions across 22 games, a ratio typically seen only in youth flag football leagues. Hattle's passer rating with the Packers was an abysmal 54.0, averaging just 167 passing yards per game. Green Bay essentially mortgaged 5 premium draft picks for a quarterback who produced a touchdown-to-interception ratio of 0.31. 5. Steve Young to the 49ers, 1987. After just 2 seasons where Young went 3-16 as a starter, the Buccaneers shipped him to San Francisco for 2nd and 4th round picks. At the time, the trade seemed reasonable. Young had completed just 53% of his passes in Tampa Bay, throwing 11 touchdowns against 21 interceptions with a quarterback rating of 63.1. The reason this trade was disastrous became clear when Young eventually took over for Joe Montana. After waiting his turn, Young emerged as the full-time starter in 1992 and proceeded to become arguably the best quarterback in football. He won 2 MVP awards, made 7 Pro Bowls, led the league in passer rating 6 times, and guided the 49ers to victory in Super Bowl 29, where he threw a record 6 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, Vinny Testaverde, Young's replacement, went 24-48 in 6 seasons with Tampa Bay, throwing more interceptions, 112, than touchdowns, 77. The Bucs essentially traded away a future Hall of Famer for draft picks that produced minimal impact, football malpractice that helped keep the franchise in the NFL basement for another decade. 4. Russell Wilson to the Broncos, 2022. Denver thought they were getting the missing piece to a Super Bowl puzzle when they traded Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a 5th-round pick for Wilson. Before he took a single snap, the Broncos signed Wilson to a 5-year, $245 million extension. What followed was disastrous. In 2 seasons, Wilson went 11-19 as a starter, throwing for 6,594 yards, 42 touchdowns, and 19 interceptions. His completion percentage and passer rating both dropped significantly from his Seattle numbers. The most painful part? Denver cut Wilson in March 2024, just 2 years into his 5-year deal, absorbing an NFL record $85 million in dead cap. That means the Broncos are paying him approximately $2 million per game to not play for them until 2026. Wilson cost the Broncos approximately $3.9 million per touchdown pass and about $170,000 per completed pass, putting this trade in the conversation for the worst of all time. 3. Brett Favre to the Packers, 1992. The Atlanta Falcons drafted Favre in the 2nd round of 1991, only to watch him attempt just 4 passes with 2 interceptions, before trading him to Green Bay for a 1st-round pick. That pick became running back Tony Smith, who amassed a grand total of 329 rushing yards in his NFL career. Over 16 seasons with the Packers, Favre threw for 61,655 yards and 442 touchdowns. He won 3 consecutive NFL MVP awards from 1995 to 1997, the only player in NFL history to three-peat as MVP. He made 11 Pro Bowls, led Green Bay to 2 Super Bowls, winning 1, and started 297 consecutive games. By retirement, Favre had thrown for 71,838 yards and 508 touchdowns, both NFL records at the time. The Falcons essentially traded away a Hall of Fame career, 3 MVPs, and a Super Bowl for 329 rushing yards, or about 1/218 of Favre's career passing yardage. 2. Randy Moss to the Patriots, 2007. After 2 disappointing seasons in Oakland, the Raiders traded Moss to New England for a 4th-round pick. Let that sink in. a future Hall of Fame receiver for less draft capital than teams routinely spend on backup tackles. In his first season with Tom Brady, Moss caught 98 passes for 1,493 yards and an NFL record 23 touchdowns, more than doubling his two-year touchdown total with Oakland in a single season. The Patriots went 16-0 in the regular season, and Moss averaged 93.3 receiving yards per game, compared to 52.8 in Oakland. Oakland used that fourth-round pick on cornerback John Bowie, who played exactly 5 NFL games and recorded 0 interceptions. During Moss's 3 full seasons in New England, he caught 47 touchdown passes, 7 more than Raiders quarterbacks threw in total during that same span. The Raiders essentially traded away 3,765 receiving yards and 47 touchdowns for a cornerback who recorded 2 career tackles, highway robbery of the highest order. 1. Hershel Walker to the Vikings, 1989. The granddaddy of all terrible trades, the Minnesota Vikings sent the Dallas Cowboys 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, a third-round pick, a sixth-round pick, and 5 players for star running back Hershel Walker. That's 8 draft picks and 5 players for 1 running back. In 42 games over 3 seasons with Minnesota, Walker rushed for just 2,264 yards and scored 20 touchdowns, averaging a pedestrian 53.9 yards per game. The Vikings went 14-18 in Walker's 2 full seasons before he departed. Meanwhile, Jimmy Johnson's Cowboys used the draft picks to build a dynasty. Emmitt Smith, Russell Maryland, Darren Woodson, all were acquired directly or indirectly from the Walker trade. Dallas won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years during the 1990s, while Minnesota failed to advance past the wildcard round. And there you have it, folks. 10 front office fiascos that would make even the most optimistic contemplate a career change to professional dart thrower. The next time your team's GM pulls the trigger on a questionable trade, just remember, at least they didn't mortgage your franchise's future for a quarterback who lives to throw interceptions or trade away a future Hall of Famer for a guy whose career highlights could fit on a Post-it note. These trades didn't just rewrite NFL history, they set it on fire, danced around the flames, and then asked for contract extensions. So the next time you're screaming at your TV on draft day, just remember, it could always be worse.